for being with us. Chris is going to he's making sure that things don't look crazy. We're giving the kids some fun stuff to do upstairs. We call it upstairs even though there's literally one stair.
Hey, Dad, look, you lost so hard at this.
So we're getting everything going and we're going to pull up our questions, but we're super excited that you're here. It's been, believe it or not, it's been almost 6 months that we've been on the road full time, which still baffles my mind. It's so crazy because it doesn't seem like that long, and then in some aspects it seems like we've been doing it for absolutely ever. So, okay, I think, are we good?
I believe so.
Should we wait a second?
Yes. Hang on a second. Pin chat. Sorry, I'm just getting my bearings here.
Alright, so ready?
Scooch across a little bit, Miley. Okay. There, now we seem centered. That looks much better, doesn't it?
I feel like, okay.
Yeah, alright, okay.
Alright. So, hi Explorers!
Hi Explorers!
Greetings from
Our RV in California.
So a little bit of an update of where we're at. We've been traveling for 6 months full time on the road with our 2 kids, Jonah and Jude. And it has been a blast, and we often get a lot of the same questions, not only online, but every time we run into somebody, especially at the RV parks that we're at, they ask us pretty much the same question every single time. So we had a little bit of a snafu and got our first RV flat tire. And so our video's a little late because some things they took a little bit of a back seat.
Well, actually, we had a really busy week in California.
And we'll show you next week.
Yes, our busiest week in California of traveling, absolutely. And we did find out why our tire was flat. For some reason, I decided to run over a giant screw. And so that's why that was flat. But don't worry, it's taken care of. We're safe.
And we're going to show you our whole California vacation next week, which has been completely epic. And we're so excited to share it with you. But in the meantime, we thought it'd be really fun to give you that quick little update, tell you what's been going on, and then get into all those frequently asked questions. And if you have more, please feel free to leave them in the comments because, spoiler alert, I guess, we absolutely love it. And if it can inspire even another family to consider it, we feel very fulfilled because that's one of our missions. So I wrote it handy dandy. I hate writing stuff on paper.
She does too. You always get on my case.
Lecture other people about saving trees and making everything electronic. However, I will preface this by saying that this is the kids' scrap paper.
Okay.
So I don't feel too guilty about it. But this does feel really weird because we're using the phone to stream and the computer, so I had to do it. So.
Actually, first of all, hopefully this is coming in like the sound's good. Yes. Good sound. If it is, give us a thumbs up if you're watching so I know it's good sound, please.
Perfect, and then the chat will be over there.
Yes.
Okay, so the first question that we get all the time is work. How are you funding this? So we are all about full transparency, and we are not multimillionaires as much as we would like to be, and we will be one day because we are manifesting that. However, in the meantime, what we do is we have some clients that we work for, and we work every day without fail. If we're sick, if it's a holiday, we are still working, and that's okay. And some days are lighter than others, but it's all work that we enjoy doing, and it gives us a lot of flexibility too. And so we do work on the road. In addition to that, we sold our house, which gave us a bit of savings. So it was a really great time to sell. We were able to make a bit of a profit because we didn't have to turn around and buy a house after we sold a house. And the market at the time was really good for that. Mm-hmm. So we had savings, we have savings, we're still working, and we're building additional revenue sources as well. And you're majorly a part of that, and we really appreciate that. We have Patreon, we have merchandise, we have a little bit of revenue that comes from our YouTube. We sell stock footage. There's a lot of different things that we do.
Amazon affiliates,
that's another one. So if you ever see, a lot of times, especially in our renovation videos, we'll have links to our products, and you don't pay any extra if you want to try them out. You just click on the link, and we get a commission technically for referring you. It's kind of like an online referral program. Mm-hmm. So that works in our favor, and the really cool thing about that is usually when we do a video, it still can generate income down the road. So we love building passive income streams. I think that's really cool. And we're always working on more. We want to make our website a bit more dynamic, and We actually just got an invitation to do, and we're approved to be contributors for a news source, so that'll give us a little additional income too. My background's in journalism, so I'm kind of excited to dust off my background and use that a bit. So pretty pumped about that kind of stuff.
And also another thing too, like those clients of ours, like it took us a while to figure out like getting to the point where we could work remotely. Like that's a lot of hard work to get to that point, working remotely.
Jonathan!
Oh my gosh, come here!
Everybody! No way!
Come over here.
Show everybody in the camera. So this is
No, come here.
This is the most exciting thing about. Oh, careful! There's a cord there, sweetie. Come around that side.
Here,
about RV life. We're always together.
Oh,
we
yeah.
can get into this, and
Hold
amazing things happen even when we're working or doing other projects.
Okay, hang on.
Jonah!
Show them the biggest.
flagging
Show them the
us down.
biggest smile right now.
So look right in the lens, Jonah.
Look right here and smile.
That is his second tooth this week.
Oh my goodness, you got no teeth left.
Oh, I'm so excited for you, babe. Yeah, so it's becoming increasingly hard for Jonah to probably eat solid food. What do you do, babe?
Better get you a straw. That's a big tooth. Holy guacamole.
Oh my gosh, looks like a shark tooth, man.
Whoa.
Give it to the camera.
That's a big one. That looks like a huge root on that one. What?
That was awesome. You want to help him get settled?
Yes. All right, let's go this
So,
way.
yeah, well,
Here.
I know Jonah has been losing so many. I'm so excited for you. He's been losing so many teeth lately that we've kind of got a system down. So he gargles with the warm salt water, and he puts his teeth in the same exact spot. And he asked the tooth fairy if he could keep all of his teeth, and she agreed. So Chris is gonna get him situated on that. So I think what Chris was saying is it did take us a while to establish how to do online work. I know a lot of people that want to get into working remotely. There's so many blogs out there that say, oh, it's so easy and there's so many opportunities, and there probably is. However, I feel like it's a very competitive space because I'm sure if anything the pandemic has taught us is that it's wonderful in some aspects to work from home, and a lot of people want to do it so they can travel. And so it's very competitive, and some you actually have to be extremely qualified for too. So the thing that we thought was so nice is we established our business before it was mainly virtual. And we actually really know our clients. They're not just people that we, bumped into online or that we're cold calling. They're all people that are friends, and they understand our lifestyle and are supportive of it. So it's a really cool dynamic that we have going on. So the next one that we get, this is probably just as much as work, is school. So school is virtual for us because, not that I don't think we could handle homeschool, but we definitely needed support and structure because our lives are crazy. We're not just running around having this great time. Like, we are most of the time, don't get me wrong, but we still work. And so we really need accountability. We need structure. We didn't want to be coming up with lesson plans. So we're so lucky. Jonah's enrolled in Life Tech, and they've been really great about us traveling and giving us flexibility. It's not like, I know a lot of people have the thought in their head when we tell them virtual school, they freak out because they think about what it was like during the pandemic when they.
It's nothing like that.
It's nothing like that because a lot of the fear came from cramming like 30 kids into a Zoom call and trying to get their attention, and the parent has to stress out about it. It's not like that at all because I couldn't handle that.
Like, take a plan for virtual school. I mean, that's their business. It's like teaching kids online. This was planned way before the pandemic, and they do a fantastic job.
So we can do it. All the materials, we can do it whenever we want, within reason. I mean, we still have deadlines, but we can do it. Like right now, I mean, to be totally honest, we've been like so crazy busy doing things that we've been slacking a little bit, but like for instance, we'll do like 2 lessons in a day to make up for that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
and even like the weekends, we catch up on the weekend. Like we do an extra lesson on the weekend to catch up. If we want to have like an activity day during the week, we can do that. We can go swimming with manatees on a Tuesday because we have that flexibility because of the online school.
Right, and we also use a lot of our car time to do school. I know it's not Jonah's favorite. Is it your favorite, babe? You can come over here and say it if you want. Is it your favorite when we do schoolwork in the car?
Yeah, but can I say how I lost my tooth right here?
Sure, really quick.
So what happened is I
Were you wiggling?
No, I just had my finger on my tooth and dude actually hit my thing. I was like, dude.
Oh my goodness.
So
And it popped out?
Hello, Puff of the Chorus and Janice Parr.
Oh, how exciting! We love them, and we're going to see them when we're in their neck of the woods. You want to show them your teeth? Give them a big smile up here. So, Jonah, we were
Main
just
course
talking
is
about
great.
virtual school, so is it nice to have that flexibility?
Yeah.
When do we do a lot of the school?
Man, why
In the morning or whenever I'm on? In the morning or at the night?
Alright.
Alright, go play with
Can you
brother.
guys sit
Okay,
with brother?
goofball.
And then we'll
Alright, give me a kiss. I love you. So we actually do end up doing a lot of it at night because a lot of our adventuring is during the day. And that also helps us a lot because we can plan for our days to get our work done early and then go on our adventures and explore, and then at night come back and do a lot of the work before bed. And that's actually worked out really nice for us, and Jonah seems to concentrate a little bit better when he's got some of his crazy energy out of the way. So, and I know there's different options. Some people unschool, world school. I just don't think that we have the bandwidth with also working to be able to do that.
Right.
So, also, we'll move on to space. We get this all the time. Oh my gosh, how can you live in that tiny space? We have totally different answers for this.
Yes.
I am so happy. I don't ever want to get anything bigger. I don't mind considering something smaller. I think that it is just perfect for us. Maybe if the kids were bigger, we would have to consider something different. But we have everything that we could need. It's easier to tow. I still freak out when Chris tows this thing when we're in the truck. And
It's easy to tell. Who does all the towing?
Would you want to tow something bigger? So this is one thing that we have differing opinions on. So I don't think we need more space personally.
Okay, when you are living full-time in your RV, that means there is no off time. You are with your family 24/7. And
I
so
love
that
that.
means I love my family and I love being 24/7. You know, but it's 27-foot RV. I think just a little bit bigger might give us a little bit more sanity sometimes.
There are some places that you cannot get into with larger rigs, and that's actually worked out in our benefit. So we have the best of everything in our RV. I absolutely love it. I do not know what we would do with extra space, personally.
Moving on.
So cost. This is okay. So we talked about how we work on the road, but I do have some friends that often say, "You're so lucky you don't have a mortgage payment," and I just have to stop dead in my tracks and bite my tongue because it is so much more expensive than living in a stationary house. Yes, sometimes in the pay that you're in the different fees that you have, that electrical and things like that will be included. However, when you consider like gas, when you consider your stay, all the different little fees, maintenance, things like that on the truck and the RV, and then just laundry, that can add up too. It is by far more expensive, at least for what we were living in.
What we're doing is far more expensive.
If
you're living in your RV full time and you're doing monthly stays, and there have been places we've been at where you can pay like $300 or $400 for a month, everything included. And
sometimes we pay that in a week.
Right, sometimes, but
So.
moving at the rate that we're moving at, we're trying to do a state a week. We've slowed down a little bit now. We're doing 2 weeks sometimes. It adds up. You're paying at $200-300 a week easily, plus food every week, and then
So
your
we still have to keep up
excursions.
that hustle.
Yes, it is definitely not cheap. For what we're
Janice
doing.
said that we will be rich. I agree with
Jonah
it.
will be rich.
Oh, Jonah will be rich. I was like, oh, you're manifesting, and I like that. But Jonah will be rich. He probably has more money in his
Janice
wallet
is
than
moving
us.
from 4,000 square feet to 1,200 this week.
Is she doing boat life? Because we have to visit her if she's doing that. We have to visit her anyway, but I'm so excited for them. They have the coolest life. They're like just amazing. You guys are amazing and inspiring, and we love you guys.
It's funny because we've been talking about the idea of getting a boat in the future.
Right, but they're pilots too. I've showed you their videos.
Yes,
So all these things we want to achieve that you have achieved. So it's so cool watching you do it, living out our dream and giving us kind of like that pathway into it. So we appreciate you guys a lot. So cons, okay.
Not a lot of space.
I don't care about the space. So for me, this is one that we do get sometimes, and a con, just full transparency again. Sometimes medical can be rough, not having your doctor nearby. When we did have COVID, we took Jude to the ER because he was having some trouble breathing, and he didn't really get very good treatment whatsoever. And I mean, I've had little things happen to me and that I would normally just go see my primary for back in Michigan, and because we're not there, I just don't really want to see somebody random or like deal with like a different healthcare system and stuff. So I just really try to be as healthy as I can possibly be. When little things come up that I probably should go to the doctor, I mean, honestly, I just don't.
Yeah. I don't even want to get into the healthcare system in the US right now.
Well, but just because of how, like, I just like the connection of having your, like, primary and, like, not having that. And, like, for us, we're going to have to, when we're back in Michigan, we're going to probably have to stay a little bit longer than a week because we're going to, there's just so many things that we want to make sure that we're okay for. But it's not enough to make us not love it, personally. Again, can you think of any other cons?
You know, I guess it's not really a con, but you can never just, you can't plan for the unexpected. Like this morning.
That's in anything though.
I know, but we were about to head off this morning and like, we couldn't. I mean, there's like 60-mile-an-hour winds out right now. And I kind of thought it was a blessing actually. Morgan really wanted to go this morning and I was like, I don't know. And then we found that we couldn't go because of the screw in the tire. And we had to wait around for recovery for a while, so we ended up staying an extra night here.
Things happen anyway.
Things happen, yeah. So it's just, you can't really plan all the time. Like, at one point in time, we were planning ahead, and now we kind of stopped doing that a little bit, and we're just kind of planning by the week at the moment.
I think it's more fun this way. We've had the most epic, amazing things happen to us because we're not being we're kind of going with the flow a little bit more. And I'm type A to, like, a T, and so I thought that we should be planning like 6 months out, and when our truck broke down in Texas...
You've been following, or when our truck broke down and we had to sell our truck, and we're on our second truck
That just threw us off our axis.
Yeah.
But since we've been going with the flow, we've met the coolest people, we've met up with friends, had like the most amazing experiences that if we would have been so rigid on our timeline and our plans, we would have definitely missed out on.
That's true.
One thing that I never thought that I would care too much about, because we are minimalists, is... that I did realize over the weekend, I went to a really big event, and when you only have 5 t-shirts to your name because you live with such a minimalistic lifestyle, that can be a little stressful. And
gotta accessorize.
Yeah, and then you go buy clothes, and then you know you'll never ever wear them again, enough to take up the space, and you have to get rid of them. And I think that's something that if you really love fashion, or if you're really, love a big wardrobe, that's definitely a no-go, because I really realized how little I had. I never noticed it until 6 months in, when I was invited to a really cool event, that I had absolutely nothing fancy at all. So I guess that would be a con. We get this a lot. How do you choose, we just got this last night, how do you choose what to do in each state? You want to cover that?
That is a good question. I think we do a lot of research. We also reach out to people, and people that are following our journey comment on our videos about things that we're
helpful.
Coming. Like, I think just hearing from people that have been there and experienced it is the best to hear from, because you can read a book and see what some cool things are to do, but
for me, it's totally different. So Chris is I think it's cool taking into consideration, and I really appreciate the different things that people recommend. I always, every single week, want to grow in some way, have that growth mindset, because I just don't even think it would be challenging or enough personally if we just hung out by a pool all week. Because there's been times that we've been tempted to do that, but then we had to think about, what did we really want to get out of this? We wanted to grow in some way, shape, or form. We want to step outside of our comfort zones. We want to become closer as a family. And we also want a lot of educational experiences for the kids. And so I know that's another reason that cost is a bit higher for us, because we're not just hanging out by the pool all week, which we could easily do.
Another thing too, when we set up, we really just wanted to see all the natural beauty that there is in the States. For me, I've been blown away by some of the things we've seen. I never knew that New Mexico was so mountainous, and just, you could be up a hill and see greenery, and then down and back into the desert. I never knew that. I just love experiencing and seeing the beauty that is all around us.
Yeah, seeing some of the new journeyers say hi. Yes. Actually, some of my favorite things are when we are able to plan. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit and do things that are a little bit more creative. One of my absolute favorite things that we ever did was go to Navajo Nation and swap homes with our new friends. It was just such a cool experience for our whole family to see what life was like living on a reservation, and then I think it was kind of neat for them to see how we live too.
Yes.
And that was just, I think, invaluable for all of us, and it was so cool for the kids to see that, not like learning about things that may be inaccurate in like a textbook or something, but for them to actually make friends like with different cultures and like learn about them in a very firsthand way that gives them perspectives that are real and tangible. I would love to do more of that.
I mean, that's almost unschooling. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about like just like letting them learn from experience.
Yeah.
And just around them, and I mean, you can't get better education than that, in my opinion.
Jeremiah. So if you have any other ideas like that, you know, we'd love to do more swaps or things that really like are completely different from our normal everyday. We'd love to figure out more of those. So please let us know, and if you have connections, we'd love to connect with them, because that, I think, is just, I'll never forget things like that. So, and I also like to check things off of our bucket list. Like, I think that each of us have our own little bucket list. I want to make sure we go over that before we move on. We all have our own little bucket list, and we've been checking so much stuff off this year. It is absolutely crazy when we like look back at it, how much we've done in 6 months compared to like the rest of our lives in general.
It doesn't feel like it's been 6 months. Does it feel like it's been 6 months to you?
I feel like we've been doing it for a really long time, but
oh really? I feel like we haven't been.
Like this is like our lifestyle. Like, I'm so much happier on the road. Just throwing that out there. What will you do after?
Apparently, we'll just keep doing it because she's so much happier.
Forever and ever and ever. I never want to stop.
No. Okay, can I answer this one?
Sure.
Okay. I haven't seen my mom or my dad or my brother or my sister or my new nieces in...
Well, not new. They're Jonah's age.
Well, they're Jonah's age. In 7 years. So, pre-COVID, we were planning on going to the UK. And then we decided, okay, we can't fly right now. Let's buy an RV and fix it up and travel to the US, which we're doing. Hooray. But when this is done, obviously I want to keep going with the RV life. I love it. But I would like to go over to the UK and maybe we test the waters with like a European style RV tour.
So, I want to incorporate Chris's dream, but I also want to put my own little spin on it, like everything else, right? So I think that when we get done with all 50 states, our last state will be South Carolina, most likely, because of just the location of where it is and how we started, or it might be Hawaii. We still don't know.
We're debating whether to go to Hawaii or not, or fly at the end.
If we fly out at the end of Hawaii, I want to spend more than a week. And
see, that's the thing.
It's going to be hard to leave.
Yeah.
And then we also thought that if South Carolina is indeed our last state, that it'd be really cool to go down to the Keys and spend some time snorkeling and just thawing out and just maybe kind of coming up with that next plan. We want to go over and see Chris's whole side of the family, and it would be really cool to figure out like maybe a motorhome over there.
I'll be honest, I've already been looking at motorhomes in the UK. I've been looking.
It's the visas and stuff that are a little challenging. So because Chris is, he's a U.S. citizen now, which is amazing, and he had to denounce his citizenship to the UK to the U.S. However, the UK will still recognize, it's so tricky, as one of their own. It's so weird. And then the boys, this is tricky too. So Jonah, when he was born, Chris was not you were like a legal resident or something. It's a little tricky however it worked, right?
When Jonah was born, I was still a legal alien or legal resident.
However it worked, the boys will still be able to get some sort of recognition. I don't think they'll be citizens, but they will be able to get dual citizenship, right?
We could all travel for up to 3 months in the UK.
But I'm the odd man out.
No, you could travel for 3 months.
For 3 months, but I mean, we'd like to probably go beyond 3 months. So the whole issue is just that the three of them have more rights and flexibility than I do, and...
Well, I don't know what the length of time is you could travel all over Europe, but I know that like in the UK it's 3 months, but maybe if you leave the UK and you go to France and then you go to Germany or you go to Italy, maybe that expands as well. That is a question that I need to figure out.
So Par for the course said that we should show and update our bucket list. Yes, we definitely need to do that. I absolutely love that idea. Some of the things that we've done that I think are bucket list. We wanted to swim with manatees. We absolutely love it. We're not huge zoo people. Not that those experiences can't be cool, but I just really love animals and feel bad sometimes. So whenever we can see animals in their own element, that's amazing. I would love to go whale watching. That's on my bucket list that we haven't done. I'd love to swim with wild dolphins, even though there's only like one place, I think, in the United States that it's actually like legal and kosher, you know. I would like to do that. Lots of wildlife. The more wildlife, the better. And
I still want to see bears. I still have not seen a bear.
When we were in Gatlinburg, we were determined that we were going to see a bear.
I know.
And everyone's like, "Oh, you've got a really good chance." And so we kept thinking, we kept looking out, and then our neighbor, the person who had their RV next to us, saw 2 in like 2 days on like a weekend.
Alaska, that's where we're going to see bears.
Yeah.
I'm convinced we're going to see bears in Alaska.
We've gone skydiving. We've faced our fear of heights. I mean, for the last 3 weeks. I mean, we've been doing it constantly, and the kids too, which is so awesome because we all are just so not huge fans. But every time we do it, you get that like confidence, like, oh, I conquered this. Like, I'm braver than I thought. I can do hard things, and it's so cool to see the kids do that too. And I know it's coming across in different areas of the kids' life too. Like Jude, he forgot how to swim. I mean, he's been swimming since he was 3, like jumping right in the deep end. You know, fine. But when we started this, it'd been so long since he had been swimming, he kind of forgot. And he picked it right up last week, didn't he? Like, yeah, crazy.
It's just fun diving and swimming again.
It's scary.
It's amazing to see the kids.
The confidence.
The confidence growing in the kids too each week when we do stuff. And like, even just, you'd think like, oh, they're living full time in an RV. The kids aren't like
social.
In a public school. It's not so. The kids are just always just like talking to people. Hello,
adults.
Like, how are you? Like, you know, just so polite and just like, it blows me away that they must, you know, see us interacting and like
think that I mean that is normal.
That's how you interact. That's how it's normal. Yeah, to talk to people.
My favorite thing that Jude says right now, he's so cute in his little kid 4-year-old accent. He'll always say "my pleasure." Somebody else say like
"my pleasure." Yeah,
oh, thank you. He'll say "nice to meet you," and then they'll say "nice to meet you," and they'll say "have a good day." He'll say "you too," and if they say thank you, he'll go "my pleasure." It's so.
Need to job at Chick-fil-A, huh?
We still need to go bungee jumping. We haven't done that. That was definitely crazy. Chris wanted to do hella jumping or whatever it's called, where you actually like bungee jump out of a helicopter. There's a lot of like things like that. I would love to swim with like sharks, like again, not caged sharks. I think it would just be so cool. I want to get scuba certified. But I wasn't able to do that because of the pandemic. Again, there was a place actually right by us, but they weren't accepting people right before we left. So I would love to do that, and I would just love to go and do it like all over the place.
Jeremiah told me that if we go through Yellowstone, you'd probably see some world famous bears there.
Perfect. Well, we'll have to put that on the list.
Perfect.
I think
good to see you, SOOO.
That's awesome.
Navajo Man and Lakota Bay said, "We love you, Arizona."
Oh, that's so nice. We love you guys. Seriously, you guys are an inspiration. You guys are doing such awesome things. So about bucket list, is there anything else that like I didn't mention? I know the kids both want to swim with sharks too because they're totally crazy. Yeah. And I think that's like a Hawaii thing because I don't or international because I know you can do it in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Uncaged, but I don't know if there's any other place top of mind. But I do think that would be a really, really cool experience. But we want to do it all. And
bucket list, go to space. That's on my bucket list, I think.
Space freaks me out a little bit. But
I want to be able to see the whole Earth one day.
What is that called when you do that? There's like a term for it when you're able to see that.
It's a God experience, I don't know.
No, definitely not. My goodness. So those are some of our ideas for after. And then after, so like do Europe and like, which I think will be so cool because there's just so much diversity. I know there's a lot of unrest in certain parts right now, which is a little bit frightening. So we'll have to kind of play it by ear when we're done to see if that's something that's still feasible or we want to do. But after that, we've been talking a lot about possibly, and it would take a lot of savings, so we need to manifest this. But we would love to try boat life. We completely threw ourselves outside of our comfort zone with this, and kudos to you. I feel like you can learn anything on YouTube. It's so impressive. Like, we have had such a steep learning curve, but it hasn't slowed us down at all. Like, our first trip, like, never towing, was into the scariest mountains ever. And
into the Smokies.
yeah, but that's like our first time towing ever. And I was just so, it was such a cool thing because we didn't know how to back into a site. We didn't know how to, we really did not know anything.
Yeah.
And now we kind of have like it's only 6 months in, we have a system, you know, and it's becoming easier. There's still things we learn
so
all the
easy.
time. But to take on boat life, that is a whole...
I'll be honest, that seems so overwhelming to me right now.
But so did
But
this.
so was RV in the beginning.
But so did this.
I know, I get it.
So... that, I think that would be really, really
What about
cool.
like a barge?
Some of the
Can we live
tracks,
on a
okay.
Can we live on a barge? Or like you know, like
A barge? Nobody wants to live in a
a
barge.
canal boat, like in.
No, a
Yeah.
catamaran. A catamaran, Chris. Our favorites. We get this all the time. Where's been your favorite place? It's different for all of us, and I have to say they're all for different reasons. There's not one favorite. I think that, you know, we think about, the amenities were amazing in Nevada. The hospitality was unmatched in Texas. In
And
Florida we were
Mississippi,
able
too,
to, and Mississippi too. Yes, that was awesome. You know, in Florida we were able to do something that was like so special to us. So like we have that memory. California, we are just like blown away. We'll show you our week.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even believe we've like seen famous people and done crazy things that I never even imagined myself doing. Like, it's just like I can't wait to show you the vlog. It's like going to be one of our favorites, I think. The kids are like, we don't want to leave. This is so amazing. The place that we're staying, we'll show it to you. We'll give you a little bit of a spoiler. There's 13 mineral pools and spas, all fed from the hot springs. I mean,
And I will be
how do you
going
beat
into
that?
that spa after we are done with this.
yes.
video,
But,
so.
you know, things like that, it's like, you know, we could, going back to our point, like, we could sit at, there's more than enough to do at this RV park alone where we could just hang out here all week and relax, but that's not a growth, experience.
Janice passed it. Hopefully we can let you try our boat life with us in the future.
That would be so fun, and it would be so fun to do it with you too, because you guys are so awesome. It'd be so
And
fun.
then,
Then we'd probably have to, they always find these, like, after their flights, they always find these, like, little places to eat and stuff, and it's always, then we'll have to find a cool place to eat, right? I do watch a lot of boat, like Sailing the Vagabond and stuff like that. A lot of people that do it full time, and I feel like we'd have to really up our like game in the kitchen. Like, we'd be like catching a lot of our food and like filleting it. That's so outside of my comfort zone. I don't even really like meat, but I feel like it's a really cool experience, and
You
it
like
kind of makes
salmon.
sense. Yeah, but I've never had to gut it myself. I mean, not that I couldn't, but... So
And then,
all those things freak me
another
out a little
question
bit.
real quick was, what's your favorite tech to use at this point?
I think our security system's pretty awesome. I mean, we've been able to leave our RV.
Yeah, I do feel
And-
confident. So we had the Amazon Blink cameras set up. We have one inside and two outside, and you know, I feel it's nice if we take a trip somewhere, we can just turn it on and it's motion detectors, and if we see people, you know, we can be alerted if there's somebody at the RV. Like, it gives us peace of mind. I love that. And it wouldn't work without our awesome internet that we have too.
Yeah.
Internet that we have here has been fantastic, and
You want to tell them what we
yeah,
have?
so we went with mobile must-have for our internet, and we have a Parsec antenna on the roof, and then we have a PepWave router inside, and it's been pretty reliable, honestly.
The only place that we struggled a little bit was in Arkansas. That's it.
Was Arkansas. No, even then, I think we may have been like, there may have been like a data issue there.
Oh.
The only place we kind of struggled with it was, I think it was Arizona, when we were at the very north of Arizona, when we
Winslow?
were getting, not Winslow, sorry,
Oh, Williams.
not Williams, I'm sorry.
I have no idea.
We were like close to Utah, near Kanab. That'll come to me in a second. Fredonia. Fredonia, there
We
was
spent
like a
some
little,
time.
we did around to like 2 megabits maybe for data. But it's been pretty good. And honestly, I've been like thinking about going to Starlink because now it's completely mobile, but I just don't even have time to do that.
But we
right
don't
now. I
even
have time to
need
put it
it.
on the roof and figure it
Right.
out, and maybe in the future, maybe on a boat.
Right.
There you
Because
go.
it probably would have been a less of an upfront investment to do that, and it probably would have worked just as well, maybe even better. However, we
Yes.
already invested in this, and it's working really well. I'm
Yeah.
usually a not very much of a like it's not broke, don't fix it kind of person. I like really hate that
But you
mindset.
already are right now.
But yeah, we're just so busy that I'm gonna just go with that.
Yeah.
For the peace of mind, you said it must be nice for the peace of mind. It really is. We were able to leave our RV, and we were in I felt very safe in the RV park that we were in anyway in Nevada, but we were able to leave it and go all the way to Vegas, and we'd get notifications on our phone if there was any motion or anything, so we're able to check it. And then the cool thing is, if something were to happen or be a little weird, we could always call somebody at the RV park and have them check in on it. So at least it would give us a heads up before anything bad happens. And also with insurance, like we read that that's a really good thing to have too, because if there was a break-in, and you can provide, obviously the more proof the better, so that's also helpful. So, and that goes along with safety. I haven't felt unsafe the whole time, but we've been so lucky because we have, there's some areas that we have like driven through that I thought, I really hope we don't break down here. This looks pretty run down and stuff. And then the only place that we have broke down just seemed to be really nice. And like today, how lucky are we that we get a screw in our tire and we're at this amazing RV resort, probably the nicest.
That could have happened. I mean, that could have happened
on like the 10.
Exactly, the 10.
And that would have been really horrible.
Everything happens for a reason. Firm believer of that. It was just like meant to happen here. We weren't meant to go today. We were meant to just like chill out an extra day. Collect our thoughts, figure out what we're doing, and then go,
Yeah. So, I think that was pretty much it. And then just an update, and I think we briefly did that before. So, we are in California. We're so excited to show you and spoiler alert, our Southern California adventure.
It has been epic. I'll be honest.
We've been all over the place.
I don't want to leave California.
It's really cool.
It's probably my favorite state.
It's by far the kids. I think it's mine, but like I said, but for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
Like I just think it's so beautiful. It's beautiful. There's so much to do. There's so much diversity. Like you can be in the desert and then take this quick little drive and be like on the coast, or like be in LA, which is just like bustling and fun. Like there's a lot going on. It's expensive, but I was talking to some friends that we're going to see and I'm really excited to show you. And they were talking about how, it's expensive, but also it's relative because the services that you have, you would probably charge more for, which made a lot of sense. And like they said, at least in their community, like a lot of the taxpayer dollars and stuff, actually you will see that, like the roads are beautiful. It's a far cry from Michigan where everything's like crumbling, the roads and stuff. And they said that, like feels very safe, things like that. So it's really pretty here. And we're hopefully going to get a new tire. And I'd love your opinion on this too.
Not hopefully, we are getting a new tire.
I would love to hear your opinion on this too. Chris is convinced that we have to get a new tire. So we had a temporary, but it's not a temporary, it's just a different brand than what we have.
Let me tell you why we need a new tire. Okay, so when we bought the RV, it came with 4 brand new Goodyear Endurance tires, right? So they're all from brand new ones. The spare on the back is not a Goodyear. It is the same size, but that spare is 10 years old, and it's been on the back in the heat and snow. It's not gonna last. It's not a good enough tire. That needs to go back on as the spare in case you break down again, and we gotta get a Goodyear Endurance on.
Yeah. Hey, come
here. You wanna say hi?
I have to go pee.
Oh,
okay.
All right. Thanks for the update.
Well, when you're done, why don't you come say hi? So the kids really wanted to come say hi at the end and maybe answer anything.
Matt Hartledge.
Matt, what's up?
Matt, okay, this question for Matt here. Matt, we got a screw in our tire.
He's the perfect person.
Morgan says we can just keep the spare on. The spare is the same size, but it's also been on the back of our RV. It came with the RV. It's 12 years old, this tire. And
this way, Jude. This way.
It's been through snow and ice and heat, and Morgan thinks it's fine. I'm telling you it's not. We gotta get another Goodyear Endurance tire on there.
All right, Jude.
Get a new one. Matt, see,
all right. If Matt says it, we'll do it. He knows what he's talking about. Okay, hey, look in the camera. Can you tell everybody where your favorite places that you've ever traveled to?
It's
Here, look here.
in California right now.
California.
And why is it your favorite? You gotta look up
gotta
here.
say it loud so they can hear you.
Because Grandpa, they have a bakery.
They do have a bakery.
Jude loves just sweet talking and getting sweet treats and stuff over there and at the bakery. It's right in the RV park, and it was so cute. The lady that runs it even gave him a little toy, didn't she?
She did.
What else, Jude? What other things have you liked doing? Are you just checking yourself out?
He's just looking himself in the
Jude,
laptop.
the camera's up
camera's
here.
up here. Look.
See the 3 dots up there?
You're sitting
That's where you look.
But why are you guys sitting?
Well,
There's my favorite is I haven't even been to the bakery because I'm trying so hard to be healthy, and it's hard with these 3 because they are the biggest sweet tooths ever.
Yeah,
But they have a farmer's market that sets up in the RV park once a week, and so I was introduced to some new fruits.
Blue.
Yeah, what? Can you tell them some of the ones that were so good?
I want put it out in.
Prickly pears.
And the
Never had them
one
before.
a
Love it.
tastes like a pea.
Tastes like a
Oh
peach.
yeah, the plums.
You know what? Tomorrow's Wednesday. They'll be back.
Gotta go before we head out.
There you go.
So Jude, can you look at the camera? Can you talk about some of the cool things that you've done that like?
We feed the manatees.
Oh, we didn't feed them, but we got to swim with them, right?
Oh, Jude, somebody down here just said, Jude, when you get to Kentucky, I'll get you some yummy donuts.
Oh my gosh, I'm not kidding.
Matt says he's going to get you some yummy donuts when we go to
They
Kentucky.
would love that.
What do you say?
Thank you.
Would you like to come in too? You gotta crawl
Come in.
around.
Because
Oh, man.
he already
Yeah, I
wants
got
a video.
He watched our video. He does, and he's got a little guy too.
Me too.
What do you mean, like who? A little bit older, like a little bit older than Jonah. A little bit older than you, but you guys will still have fun. But yeah, we'll definitely have to come visit. And then Jonah, can you look at the camera's up here? I know it's hard not to look at yourself, but
Why? Yeah.
What's your favorite state then? Can you
What?
tell them what your favorite state is and why?
You don't have one?
I do.
What is it? Tell me.
Try not to look at this. You might want to put
Yeah.
that down, Chris. Because he's
All right.
he likes
Let's
looking
get
at
off.
stuff. But look up here.
It's probably gonna be this one, but if anything beats that, I'm gonna love that.
California. We got California, California, California. Looks like we're moving to California in the future.
No, I mean maybe in the future, but not. We're still gonna definitely finish all our journey. Did you want to go over there, Jude? You can't touch anything though here, okay? Let's see. I'll make you my. Oh my gosh! So Janice. Okay, this is so cool. So she makes famous chocolate chip cookies, like famous, and she gives them to her husband. Okay, for like every anniversary. And last year it was so funny because it was the first year that she was unable to do it, and she bought store-bought cookies, and you got to see this picture. It's the funniest. The disappointment. It should be a meme. It's hysterical. Jonah, hey, can you tell the camera, do you enjoy traveling full-time, or would you rather go to a house?
Do it full time. You should probably do it as well, because you should do it.
You should do it too. Wow, that's an endorsement.
Wow.
Jonah, is there anything that you want to do? Okay, goofball. Is there anything that you want to do while we're traveling that, like your bucket list that we haven't done already? I know we've done a lot of the things that you said you want to do.
The one thing Jonah always tells me that he wants to do is he wants to go to New York City and eat pizza in a limo like Kevin McAllister. That's what he always tells me he wants to do.
What? I want to eat with cheese pizza now. What you tell
Cheese
me.
pizza?
Jonah, no. Honey, be
All
polite.
right.
All right, guys. Is there anything else that you want to say?
Nope. I'm good. I am.
Oh, you want to? Okay, Jonah,
All
let
right,
you go
go
upstairs
ahead.
and let Jude say a couple more things. But remember, look up here, honey.
My nice feet are already done, so check out videos. You can buy a file. You can buy without water filming.
I didn't even tell him to say this. Check out our videos and buy our merch. That's
Oh my god. You've been watching too much YouTube.
That's next.
no, that's good.
That's
a good
cool.
thing to
So
say.
that's order merch all the time.
That'd be cool, right?
Mhm.
What's your favorite piece of merch?
My favorite piece.
Look up here.
Go look here,
One
look.
is the hoodie.
A
The
hoodie.
hoodie,
Those
yeah.
are pretty cool,
The
aren't they?
hoodie one. The hoodie.
Here, scooch back a little bit so your knees
There you
don't
go,
hit
I
it.
see you now.
All
There.
right.
Whoa,
Oh my
okay.
gosh. Yeah. Roll over. Go
Not
see
that
brother.
kind of video,
Well,
buddy.
thank you so much. Make sure you let us know. Oh, you want
And
to
at
say
the end, I'm talking by myself.
that's scary.
through all of that.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
All right, is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Wait, remember that's not the camera, sweetie.
Right here.
That's the camera. All right.
All right.
Goofballs. Go see brother. Tell everybody to have a nice night.
Have a nice night and what I want to tell you. Tell you.
Say love you all.
Then my funniest thing is in there.
Oh, this is a funny thing.
Alright. Let's wrap it up, folks.
All right. Oh, you're funny. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments, please, about your bucket list ideas, what you would have on yours, places that we should go. If you have any connections, like I said, we'd appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we'll see. Say see you Sunday.
See you Sunday.
Say bye. Cheers.